Hi everyone, this is Alma coming to you from Huntington Beach, California. Today is Saturday, August 19th of the year 2023, and this is going to be FlossTube number 107. As always, I want to welcome you all. Welcome back to all my current viewers and subscribers, and thank you, as always, for your continuing support. And special welcome to anybody that's visiting for the first time. I hope that you like what you see today. I've got quite a bit to show you, so I hope you find a reason to stay, subscribe, and continue to follow me on my stitching journey. I hope that everybody's doing well. I hope that everybody's staying safe and sound. Everything's okay here. I'm a little bit sad because vacation is officially over. I start school back up on Tuesday. Um, and we're also getting ready for Hurricane Hillary to make landfall here in Southern California. She's supposed to be downgraded to a tropical storm by the time we get her, but everybody's still freaking out. we don't we don't get this. This is not normal for us. We get fires. We get fires and fires leave scars. And I think that's more of a concern. Like it's not so much. I mean, yes, like the rainfall is going to be an issue, but I'm more concerned about the consequences, the flooding and the landslides that usually come afterwards. So hopefully everything will be okay. Uh, that aside, like I mentioned, I do have quite a bit to show you today. It is week 3 of Arbitrary August, and it'll be my last week of Arbitrary August. More so because I'm practically done with all of the whips that I wanted to stitch on, all the whips that were on my wheel. Um, After all the whips that I show you today, I only have two more to do. So after that, I think what I'll do is I'll stitch on Veronica, Portrait of Veronica, because I do want to finish her by the end of the year. And I may just, go back to those whips that did call my name more loudly than others this month. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to the stitching. And as always, I'll show you guys, well, not as always, but as I've been doing with this Arbitrary August stuff, I will show you in the order that they were called. Some days I finished up one whip and then I just started the next days. So I'll technically have 2 to show for that day, but it's fine. We're fine. And I'm trying to pull up. There we go. I was trying to find her. This is the whip that I ended my last video with. So first one I'll show today. This is Let's Go for a Swim. Artwork by Jeremiah Kettner from Heaven and Earth Designs. With this one, I had quite a bit of hanging threads. Well, quite a bit. Maybe like 5. Not that much, but I'm not used to working with hanging threads. And I think I had like 200 stitches done on her when I showed it to you. So I finished up the remaining 500, or the remaining 300 to make 500. I think I ended up doing more, because I did want to finish, like, I was halfway up this little curly Q, and I was just like, I just want to finish it. It's fine. We're all fine. So yeah, for this one, the most used color I think is 154, which is the purple that I've been working on. But I am gonna have to switch over to a new color because even though the 154 is the most used one, it jumps over to where her hair is, which is more towards the middle of the image. So I'll stitch on another color to get myself to that section and then go back and use the 154. So that's that one. And I'm gonna put her over here. Hopefully they don't fall. I have a very precarious pile of whips over here. I'm trying to not have tumble over. Anyway, so that was Saturday's call. Next up was a whip that hasn't gotten any love in quite some time. This is Nevermore from Lila's Studio. This one, um, this one's special to me. I'm working this on all materials from Forbidden Fiber Company. Starting with the fabric, which is Morning Mist, a 16 count Ida Morning Mist. And I'm using dye threads from Forbidden Fiber Company. And this is what we have so far. So for this one, I did do a little bit more than the 500 stitches. I think I did more towards 600. Mostly because I just wanted to finish the motifs. So I think I had maybe like 30 stitches done on the moon, and I was just like, it's fine, I'll finish the moon. But I basically stitched this entire left side right here. Well, my left, your right. Well, and I finished this. I finished the tree because that also, I think I had like the tree trunk done until this point. So I did the entire tree and the moon. So once I finished the moon, I kind of started the next section. I did a couple of stitches, and then that's it. Just so I could get myself, so like, basically so I don't have to think. The next time I grab this, I can just be like, oh yeah, okay, that's what I'm doing. But yeah, it's always nice to grab this back up again, since I think it's really the only piece that I'm working with dyed floss. So it's always fun to see like the variation coming through. The moon, it was a little bit more subtle, but I can see it. So yeah, so this was fun to stitch on. I considered this as my whip for next year to finish in the year, so like split it up into 12 different pieces or sections, and then yeah, and then finish it up by the end of the year. But we'll see. Kind of flash the pattern there for a sec. My bad. I'll just leave this here. It's fine. I'll just put everything away later. Next up, I have to show you this one. Oh, my phone again. Hopefully this will go better than my video in Spanish because the camera was not cooperating with me at that point. Everything was a blur, so I wasn't able to show the cover photos as well as I would have liked. There we go. So this is the see, now it focuses. This is Cinderella. This is a piece that I got on Etsy by Zana Cross Stitch. And again, this one hadn't seen any love in quite some time. And I just grabbed one color and went with it. So this is what we have so far. All I had to do was work on that 820 right there. The vibrant blue. I haven't even hit the other edge of the pattern yet. I remember I got kind of tired of working with the 939, which is why I went back and started on the 820. But I'll eventually have to finish that. But yeah, that's all. It's still background. I haven't even gotten to her skirt yet, which is the fun part, right? Yeah. If I ever feel like stitching on blue, I know where to go. Next up is another another one that I have to show you here. I actually skipped it. That was my bad. But after Nevermore, I got this one. This is A Stitch in Time. Artwork is by Amy Stewart. And as you can see, I decided to go for the max colors. It's not that bad. I've seen worse. But because I was trying to get through it as quickly as possible, I decided again, I just grabbed one color and went with it. I didn't feel like working on confetti stitching or anything like that. So this is where we're at so far. And the stitching was all done in that teal color. So I had like this outside frame partially done, so I kind of finished going up and then stitched everything inside it. And then I started with a second teal color. So yeah, one of these days, like I'll pick it up and I'll go back to all the white, the snow area that has like really pale blues and purples and all sorts of colors in there. But this month wasn't the month for it. I was on a mission. Um, so yeah, so that's one panel done, or not even done, just started, because it's a massive piece. And now I understand why some people go for like what are they called, the QS? Are those the ones like they just have, again, it's just one panel. You pick the one that you like best and you go for it. Okay. And then after that, next one up, it's really funny because like they all got called back to back, almost back to back. But it's my other Cinderella piece. This is Cinderella 2015 from Tilton Crafts. Artwork is by Daniel Kordick. And again, if I ever feel like working with blue, I know where to go. This one is another one that I haven't really hit the other edge of the pattern yet. This is what we have so far. I pretty much did like everything from here to this side. I was trying to go color by color. So pretty quick stitching. And with this one, like all my Tilton Craft pieces, I feel like I want them to all go about the same. So like trying to make sure that they all hit milestones at the same time or about the same time. With this one, I'm like woefully behind though. So I do need to get going on this one, because I think both Esmeralda and Snow Girl are at like 10 or maybe even 15%. And this one's not even close to being there. So yeah, and then I also started Scarlet Witch, but I'm not including that one really because it is such a recent start. Alright, so that's this one. Next up is a non-full coverage for once. This was gifted to me by a viewer, and I call it Summertree because it is part of a series of 4. I believe I feel like I have the spring. I forget if I have the spring and then Stitching Mommy has winter, or if it's backwards. But that's how I knew that there were multiple, is I was watching Stitching Mommy and she showed hers on her FlossTube, and I was like, oh. But this is what we have so far on this one. The 500 stitches were all done on, again, kind of grab one color and go. I did the dark green and the lime green. So basically any non-yellow any non-yellow color that you see there is what I did. I wanted to try to just go ahead and finish one section, so that I can at least, it's easier for me to do it that way, so I can put it down on my spreadsheet, so I can just see, like, okay, like I finished this block, and I can just do 100 stitches that way, or call them done. Um, but yeah, this is a 14 count Ada. The kit came with like the huge 11 count, but I didn't want to have a massive tree, so I just switched it out with some um, random 14 count that I had lying around. But it was nice to get back to this. It was a nice break from all the full coverage too. So that's that one. Next up was again kind of back to back, but not really. It was my Thomas Kincaid MCG Textiles kit. This is Cinderella Wishes Upon a Dream. And with this one, I also switched out the fabric. The kits always come with, I don't know if I just flashed the pattern or not, but the kits come with an 18 count Ada. And based on my experience, because I've done 2 of those already, it's always such a hassle because they have a lot of detailing, they have a lot of uh, partial stitches, fractional stitches. So I just went with a 36 count even weave. I just went for the white. Doesn't need to be fancy. But the 500 stitches were all done on the grass in the bottom. So again, I just grabbed a couple of colors and just went nuts. And with this one, I was trying to do 500 stitches a month on this one. Obviously, I fell off the wagon like 2 or 3 months in. but I do want to get more work done on it, because it's a lot. And even just like the section that I'm working on is these flower beds that are here on the bottom, and those are all French knots. Okay, let me tell you what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do all those French knots. So I'm also gonna look into getting some beads to replace those knots. Cause yeah, it's a lot. I'm not doing that. Even just like reading the pattern and looking at all those little dots and just like, oh my gosh, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna keep modifying it and trying to make it not so painful. I'll put this over here. The next one that was called is my mini mauve irises. Oop, there we go. Mini mauve irises. Artwork is by Marianne Broom from Heaven and Earth Designs. This one had a handful of hanging threads. That ended up just working out because I think like almost, I want to say like 450 out of the 500 stitches I had to do just came from those hanging threads. So I didn't even have to worry about changing threads. So this one, because I was trying to do it block by block, I did have like a hard stop, I think, at this one, like at this block right here. So like everything from here on down is what I did. And then I went back up. I had like, I think 1 or 2 threads hanging here as well. And then I just finished everything up with this. I think it's 3747. So yeah, this one also was in desperate need of some work. What's that one? See, lots to show, lots to show. uh, the next one that was called is another one I have to show you here. This one I used for my holiday category. I could have used Nevermore as well because that's Halloween as well, but I used let's see if it focuses. Tomb Sweet Tomb by Park Hopper Bart here on FlossTube. I think he's got a Gumroad page now. And for that one, I am stitching it on 18 count vintage country mocha. So this is what we have so far. The 500 stitches were all done in the blue flowers. So I kind of just picked one color, went color by color, and did both sections. So this set of flowers had a little bit more done with them. That's why they look more finished. But yeah, it was nice to stitch on this as well. It's been a while. And with this one, I did have to switch out the colors for the pink flowers because some of the lighter tones for the pink, that as like if I was to do it as charted, they would have kind of disappeared on this color fabric. So I had to adapt. But I'm enjoying working on this. It makes me happy. I'm gonna put that there. Next up is another one that hasn't gotten very much attention. This is my Teresa Wentzler English Garden Sampler. Very lucky find. I think I went on one of those cross-stitch barter groups or something like that, and I ended up getting that. And for this one, I went the easy route and started the alphabet in the center first. So that's all I have. The 500 stitches were pretty much done on the. I think I had these letters done. So the M, or half of the M, and then the entire second row was what I did this time around. And for this one, I did go over 500 stitches only because, like I was going color by color, finishing those letters. So I would go over maybe by like 10 or 20 stitches every time, depending on the color. So yeah, maybe it's closer to like 550 or something. But yeah, this is done in a 25 count even weave. So the alphabet section is done 1/1. So I didn't mind it because I already do a lot of full coverage on that size. But the normal or the rest of the cross stitching is done 2 or 1/2 or 2/2 maybe. I'll have to double check. But point being, that's the only section with teeny tiny stitches. So again, I didn't mind it too much, but I know that it did bother some people. This one goes, and I'll just put it away later. It's fine. The last one, the last one I can show you today. I just worked on this last night. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep last night. Granted, I know exactly what it was. I had coffee at like 6 o'clock. So that was my bad. So it was like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and so I was stitching pretty late last night. But the last one I want to show you is another one of my full coverage Haynes. This is Mini Sun and Stars. Beautiful, gorgeous Jason Momoa as Khal Drogo. Artwork is by Katarina Koukiotis. Focus. Okay. And that's the full name of the artist in case y'all wanted. Koukiotis. And this one, I am gonna keep working on this one because it's shameful. I had so little done. Um, this is where we're at so far. And again, I was just working on this, so it's still in the key snap. But um, I basically had all of this done. And I decided to go ahead and this one I will work, especially the background. I will work it like block by block. Um, so yeah, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 400, and then the rest, the remaining 500 stitches are like on that color. So I would do that this color first, so I could just fill in, because it that background is only those two colors. So once I did the random stitches on this color, I could just fill in with this one. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep working on this one because I haven't even gotten to him. I want to stitch him. I'm still stuck on the background. Um, so yeah, so this is probably going to be one of the first ones to come back out. Um, I still want to do, like I mentioned in my previous videos, I want to do the like I have my spreadsheet. So what I'm gonna do is, time permitting, because again, school's starting back up. I mentioned I only have two. The last two that I need to work on, I'm just like all over the place today, apparently. Um, the last two I need to work on are, and this is like I already did the spin or the coin flip, I guess. Um, First up is going to be my Iron Man whip. Focus, focus. This wasn't focusing on my video in Spanish either, so apparently just doesn't like Iron Man. But it's Mandrake's Designs. It's the same designer that just did the Little Prince that I just finished, and um, my Bilbo Baggins piece that I finished a few years ago. So that's one of them. And then the last one, scroll right past it. The last one is uh, my mason jar lineup. I'm trying to get it straight. There we go. So those are the last two called. Once I finish those, I want to start going through the pieces that have the least amount done. I've got quite a number of pieces that haven't even hit like 10%. So I want to go through those first, grab the color that is used the most, work that color. Hopefully that gets me over the 10%. And then just move on to the next. Maybe I can lower it to 5%, depending on how much those stitches get me. Um, but maybe Sun and Stars can be the first one to do it, because again, that entire like left side is just this entire background. Um, so that's going to be nice and quick stitching. But I also want to stitch on Veronica too, because I need her portion of August done. I haven't worked on her yet. But I mean, I'm also starting school, so so we shall see. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I am going to be taking a break from recording these videos while I'm in school. If we happen to have like a long weekend, obviously, like Thanksgiving break, we get the full week for Thanksgiving, so I'll go ahead and film for Thanksgiving. Um, yeah, like I'll take those opportunities to go ahead and record, but otherwise I will just focus on my studies. Um, and yeah, I mean, at least you'll get me for the end of year whip parade as well, which is crazy because I feel like I just filmed the mid-year whip parade. I'm already talking about end of year whip parade. Um, but yeah, so that's the plan for the remainder of these weeks. Again, I hope to be back. I think we have Labor Day, September Yeah, September 4th is Labor Day. I may record at that point. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what school says. As always, if you have any questions about anything that you saw today, feel free to leave a comment. Um, as far as acquiring some of the stuff goes, obviously kits like the Cinderella kit, the Teresa Wensler kit, those are not really readily available anymore. The best I can tell you is to check eBay, but be prepared to pay a pretty penny because those are rare now. But anything else, like all those PDF patterns, I think you can find most of them online still. Um, so yeah, thank you as always for coming back and keeping me company. I do hope to be back soon. I will miss you all, and which is why I'll try to film as often as I can. Um, But yeah, as always, I hope you guys have a relaxing weekend. Be safe, anybody that's in Southern California or in, the trajectory that they're, um, proposing for this hurricane. we can, we'll be okay. Everything will be okay. Um, but yeah, have a relaxing weekend, a productive week, and as always, I hope you always find the time to do the thing that makes you happy. Until next time, ciao.